Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Justin Davis, and today we have something new from Banggood.com. So I want to say thanks a lot, Banggood, for sending us one of these to show you guys. This is the FOXEER Legend 1. It is a new HD action camera that shoots 1080p and has a multiple levels of formats that you can shoot in, which is super cool. You can shoot in compressed H.264, which is nice. It'll play back in real time on your computer and a little easier to upload to the internet. But getting started right away, I'm really excited that it does shoot 1080 and 60 frames a second, and it does feature a Sony sensor in this, so that's really nice. I'll go ahead and open up the box for you now. It does feature a super wide angle lens on here. It's 166 degrees field of view on this camera. And it will fit on a variety of different racing quads. It's small enough to fit on the 180 and the 250, so no problem there. It fits right on top. You can strap it down. We're going to show you some FPV footage of this camera in just a little bit. If you want to skip ahead and watch that, feel free to. But we're going to go ahead and now we're going to talk about some of the features of this camera and what you get for the money. It does say in the manual that it shoots in 1080p, 60 frames a second, and it also shoots upwards of 2304. 16:9 resolution in wide, normal, and narrow modes. So you have a variety of different modes that you can shoot in. It also shoots in NTSC and PAL, so it'll go back and forth, and you can select that in the menu. It is PC compatible, so you'll need to have a PC if you're going to do any software stuff on this. I'm not sure if there's an actual app for it. You might have to check that out and look for that, but I do believe it's going to load up on the Mac. If you have a MacBook Pro, it should load right to your desktop. Or you can just take the smart card out of the side and put it in your USB port with a mini micro SD card reader. And you are going to be able to take stills with this. You can take stills at 16 megapixels, which is not too bad. So that's going to be a nice option. And it also does 720p recording as well. And you'll get 120 frames a second and 720 on this camera. You also have the same modes, wide, normal, and narrow mode. So let's go over some of the buttons on this camera right now and show you what some of this stuff is all about. So the first button on here, the most obvious one, is the power button. This is where you can select your modes as well. You have a little red light on the back that's going to indicate recording. This is your status LED up here, and then you have your shutter button here to start and stop your video. Probably change a few different modes as well. It does feature a microphone up in the very front. On the back, you have a couple different holes on the back. Right and left, and the one on the left is going to be the reset button, and the one on the right is the power charging instruction light. So when you're charging it on your USB on your computer, you're going to see this little light pop on. It should probably go off when it's done. Now on the left here, you have, this is an HDMI mini port, so that's pretty nice. Not a lot of action cams have those right now, so this is kind of a new feature for an action cam. Over on the right, we have the USB charger port, and also for hooking it up to your computer. Now I was reading the instructions a little further, and there is PC software available for this. If you go to FOXEER.com, and we'll put the link down here below for you to see that, you can go in there and click on the camera and go to downloads, and you'll see the download software for this. And you can change all kinds of different mode settings in the PC software. You can change the video settings, the photo settings, and you can mess around with the system settings in the camera. So it has a lot of options as far as the software. Now the smart media card on the side goes in here and should pop out. I've got a little 4 gigabyte card in here right now, but this goes up to a 64 gigabytes, so you have plenty of storage space in this if you really want to go maximum storage with this camera. So a couple more features that I really like is the HDMI Out Port. That enables us to show off our videos before we go home if we want to show them to people in the field. You know, after we record a cool video, or we just want to check it out ourselves, those of us who already have field monitors can go ahead and go HDMI out over to the monitor and do some playback on the big screen, so you can check out your video. That's really nice. And also it does time-lapse function. That's kind of cool too. I don't know if I would use that or not, but it is available on this camera. So it does seem to have quite a bit of features on here. So like I said, the storage card media up to 64 gigabytes, and you want to run a class 10 on that. They say to use name brands, by the way. And we're looking at a pretty good camera right here. Like I said, 16 megapixels still, and very high quality HD video on this one. So we're going to strap this on a couple of these drones. So I just want to show you a quick size comparison of the Mobius. This Mobius has a wide angle lens on it, which I've crashed numerous times. There's some cracks in there, but you can see that this Legend 1 is a little bit taller, and it looks to be a little bit thicker than the original Mobius. So just a little bit taller, might be close to the same size, maybe a millimeter thicker, but it is definitely longer. So if you do have some micro quad that you don't have a lot of room on, it might be a little bit hard to fit this camera on there. It should be, in my opinion, a little bit shorter, but it's going to fit on the 180 size just fine. Okay, let's go ahead and show you what's in the box real quick. Really nice instruction manual. There are all of the specs in here, what all the buttons are on the camera, how to get started, and it has some software information on the back as well, so that's really nice, and some memory card and your video and photo settings in here. Very, very nice manual that comes along with this one. We'll set that to the side. In the very bottom of the box you have USB charging cable and for hooking up to your computer or your PC. An extra optional video cable. This should hook into one of your video receivers if you want. You can transmit video back from a GoPro, and you have a micro USB cable here for hooking into the back of the camera itself. So that's it, guys. Let's go ahead now. Let's go outside and take the Legend 1 out and do some hardcore FPV with it and show you what the video quality looks like. Now, one last pro tip before we go out and fly this and show you the footage. They do have alternate colors available, so I wouldn't necessarily grab a black one if you can help it. Get yourself an orange or red one. It'll make it a lot easier to find this if it flies off your quad in the field. You won't probably spend an hour looking for this as you would a black one. So grab an orange or a red one, make it a lot easier to find.
You know what?